Chapter 55. Eden. Fear, death. These emotions engulfed Wells and his men in this moment. Never had they imagined being driven into a corner by one man. "Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I was just driving for them. Never laid a hand on anyone." At this moment, a younger thug couldn't bear the fear any longer. He dropped to his knees with a thud, raising his hunting rifle above his head, sobbing uncontrollably. "I confess. Let the military police arrest me." The collapse of one person often triggers the collapse of many others' psychological defenses. These thugs may have looted around the small town, injured people, but they were not professional killers. They were just a bunch of heartless bastards, far from the tough and ruthless attitudes of TV show gangsters. They could bully defenseless ordinary people, but when faced with someone capable of twisting their necks, their baseness and fear were fully exposed. They didn't even qualify as tough thugs. Just a bunch of cowards who bully the weak. "Please spare us. We surrender. We won't dare again. Have mercy." Seeing this, the few remaining thugs besides Wells lost their courage to resist Hiroshi. They all fell to their knees, banging their heads on the ground. If Hiroshi was alone, they might still have the courage to resist. But now, hidden in the shadows, there was a sniper. "You useless bunch. Get up." Wells went berserk, kicking and punching the thugs. "Even with that sniper, it's just 2 people with guns against our 8. Can they really kill all of us in an instant?" Hiroshi chuckled. As Wells said, if these people resisted, he couldn't possibly kill them all in an instant. It would only take sacrificing 2 lives for the enemy to launch a counterattack. But the question was, who would sacrifice their own life to secure their companion's chance to fight back? Soldiers with faith in their hearts would. Warriors who have homes to protect would. But these thugs who gathered solely for profit would not. Their thoughts were simple. This blonde pig Wells has it all figured out. But if one of those 2 people killed in the counterattack is me, then what? If I die, I have nothing left. Why should I use my life to ensure you all escape safely? Being caught, let's get caught together. Death, let's die together. This was the truest portrayal of the thug's mentality. "Drop your guns." Hiroshi looked expressionlessly at Wells. "Kneel down, answer my questions, and I'll let you die in one piece." Hiroshi didn't hide his intention to kill Wells. Wells was the leader of these thugs. He had to die. Hiroshi wasn't afraid Wells would go berserk upon hearing this. The adult combatant had already aimed the muzzle at Wells's head, and half a second later, his head would explode like fireworks, evenly spreading within a 5-meter radius. "You damn yellow monkey, I'll never surrender to scum like you." Wells's eyes were furious. He raised his hunting rifle to shoot. He knew very well that if he surrendered, others might still have a chance to live, but he would surely die. Surrendering meant death. Resisting also meant death. He wanted to try his luck, but he was thinking too much. Before his finger touched the trigger, Hiroshi had already raised his hand, and the 45mm caliber bullet from the M1911 hit Wells's gun-wielding arm. Wells screamed in agony. His right arm hung limp, blood gushing from his elbow. His right arm was now useless. Hiroshi reloaded, firing 3 more shots that accurately hit Wells's knees and his other arm. Wells fell backward, his limbs broken. He twisted on the ground like a worm, screaming in agony. The sound was so horrifying. It instilled fear in those thugs who were barely standing. They trembled violently, hands clutching their heads like quails burying their heads in their pants, shivering. "Now, are you willing to cooperate? Answer my questions?" Hiroshi walked up to Wells, looking down at his contorted face twisted in pain. "If you're not willing, that's fine. I haven't had enough fun yet." Hiroshi's handsome face coupled with his threatening words had a profound impact on Wells. At this moment, Wells finally began to fear, his psychological defenses weakening. "I'll cooperate. I'll cooperate. Should have done that earlier. No need to suffer needlessly," Hiroshi sneered, then squatted down, asking in a low voice, "Does your gang have a mastermind behind it?" Hiroshi wasn't particularly afraid of a small-scale food-looting gang, but he feared it might be part of a larger organization. "I only communicate with my direct superior." I don't know who the real boss is. Wells gritted his teeth through the pain, his face pale. He provides us weapons, assigns tasks. There are at least dozens of gangs like ours in East River Province. Hiroshi's heart sank at the mention of this. The worst-case scenario had arrived. This was a large-scale organized crime group, structured and hierarchical. The lowest-level grunts like Wells didn't even know who their real boss was, just their immediate superior. This level of secrecy was beyond what an ordinary criminal organization could achieve. After looting, where were you planning to transport the food? Hiroshi narrowed his eyes. H City. Wells gritted his teeth. After completing the mission, we were going to deliver the food to H City. There's a cargo ship waiting at the port. H City was a coastal city on the edge of East River Province. Just across the sea, they can get to the edge of the European Union. Hiroshi suddenly seemed to understand something. This food might be intended for export. Did your superior ever mention the purpose of this food? Hiroshi asked in a low voice. Wells hesitated, seemingly considering the importance of this information. Frowning, Hiroshi pressed the barrel of the gun hard against the wound on Wells's right arm. Instantly, Wells screamed like a slaughtered pig. Eaten. Wells's forehead was covered in cold sweat, shouting, "He mentioned this word accidentally, but I really don't know the specific purpose."